So I will be talking about four aspects you should actually focus on if you really want to break into tech and how you can actually go about it. So some of the mistakes I made, you don't get to make them. Now, number one, overthinking. From the very onset, I have always wanted to get into tech, but then again, I kept on thinking on which particular one I want to get into. Then overthinking came in. That moment when I start sizing all tech skill and how much they earn. I was so glued with the money I wanted to earn, I wasn't looking at the possibilities of me getting those skills. So today I would think of starting up this one. Tomorrow I would kind of like quit, start up another one. Next tomorrow I'll see somebody that is driving a very new, clean car. And I ask questions. They say that guy works in tech, he's probably cybersecurity expert. And then I jump into that part and I start learning cybersecurity. And then only for me to wake up and be like, cybersecurity seems very stressful. I would jump into another one. I was literally overworking myself, overthinking because I wanted to get the figures. Those were the things that were very much interested. I was very much interested in, and that kept me kind of like slow because me starting one skill, I'll learn it, I don't finish it. I'll get into another one, I'll learn it, I don't finish it. Kind of like the perfect description for jack of all trade, master of zero, like nothing. So what I did first of all was I had to calm down and tell myself that okay, you think you want to get into tech, and the way you want to get into tech is to learn the skill that earns more. Probably you feel like okay, tech is a very big word, right? You have people who work in kind of like the cloud computing, they do tech. You have the ones who work in cybersecurity and all that, they do tech. Graphics designer do tech, but then again, they're graphics designer that earn good money, like real good money. Now, you don't want to put yourself in that part where you feel like, okay, because it's cybersecurity, the name sounds so big. So definitely, if I can learn it, I can earn big. It's not about that at all because at the end of the day, you don't have any self motivation, you don't have any inspiration, personalized vision. You don't have any burning passion for this stuff. You just want to learn it because you feel like you're going to earn more. And then when it doesn't work, when you're not seeing what you expected, you start losing interest. You pull out again and get to the next one. So what you should never do, don't overthink it. Don't overthink the money. Think about if you really want to be in it. If you love it for the fun of it, if you love it for what it is about. If you love painting, I would advise you go into designs, UI UX designs, graphics designs, illustrators, and stuffs like that. There are so many other things you can actually do with designs, and you can be pretty much successful. And that's still tech. Like that is still tech. So don't and never you overthink. Number two, ignoring the basics. This one really broke me really bad. Like it really broke me. Imagine you want to learn cybersecurity and you don't even know anything about your normal computer basic security measures you should put in place. You don't know any of those things. Like literally, you don't know the two-step authentication. You don't know the what they call it, authentication app and other kind of authentication. You don't know some basics. There's some basics that you need to really know that would stand the foundation and now kind of like hold the advanced knowledge. So I felt like okay, for me to actually learn, get into tech, I needed to just attend the big shows, attend the big events, get to meet big people and all that. Then again, I never knew there was something called boot camp. I mean, boot camp is a place where you get to learn with your fellow novice. You get to learn with your fellow beginners. You guys learn. You guys will face challenges. You guys build accountability partners. You guys get to share goals. Get to share visions. Get to share ideas, and you build up something. And guess what? It's very fun because you're going to learn a lot in that beginning process, and it's going to stand as a foundation for any advanced knowledge coming in. So I kind of like ignored all that's the basics and all that. I wanted the big knowledge. I was finding it very difficult, so I couldn't cope with the big knowledge. So instead of me understanding that it was me that was the issue, I felt like, nah, this stuff is too hard. But definitely it was because I wasn't going to start from the beginning. I wanted to get to start from the advance. So this is my advice to you. If you really want to get into tech, you have to just try as much as possible to get your hands dirty with the beginning part. Try as much as possible to associate yourself with the beginning level because that is going to stand as a foundation for you to actually like grow and become big in whatever aspect you want to do. Do you understand? You don't want to just get into the big aspect and you're all seem confused and all that. I mean, you're going to be discouraged and you're in turn going to just conclude that it is stressful. So beginning level, very, very, very important. Number 3, focusing on trends. I focused so much on trends that I felt like trends were the in thing. Instead of me building systems and processes, instead of me building my own solid skills, I was focusing on trends. I mean, I wanted to be, that's at a point in time, I was taking classes on AWS, cloud solutions, I think. And I kind of like see people do a lot of videos and say, hey guys, I'm AWS cloud solutions expert, and I just created these stuffs and all that. This is me going to jump into this kind of trend, trying to create big solutions, architect, drafting, trying to create big solutions, architect projects. I mean, at a point in time, I was asking myself, who sent you? It really doesn't make any sense, because you see somebody doing something and in turn you feel like, and the best way for you to achieve those kind of things is to get in and start doing it. Bro, you're really going to drain, you're going to burn out, because those people had process. You're more of like competing with their celebration process. You're competing, you're more of like comparing your beginning process with their advanced process, and you're going to get burned out, you're going to get drained. So you need to understand when to jump on trends and when to sit, calm down, and actually build your solid skill. Yes. Finally, networking errors. So I kind of felt like this was something that was really overhyped. People talked about it so much and it never really mattered. I found out that networking is one of the best gigs you should actually focus on. Now, did you know that most of the people that occupy some positions that they occupy currently is not as a result of them knowing a lot of things, like being best at what they do, right? Most of the people that occupy the positions they occupy now is as a result of them knowing people, connecting with people, like literally networking, most of them. So at the early stage of me learning tech and all that, I felt like all I need is me. I mean, I am all I need, yes. But then again, you need people. You need to connect to people, because there's a certain limit of knowledge you can suck in. You get, some other persons have sucked more. That point where you think he just stopped. There's one person out there that his own just began from that aspect. So networking is like one of the major aspects. It's like one of the major things you should actually look up to whenever you go for events, whenever you go for gatherings that is similar to what you do and all that, and you know very well that there are other people that do such kind of things also. You definitely would want to network, ask questions, get in contact, like share your what do you call it now, your IVs and stuff. I mean, share your cards, ask questions, collect contacts, share your cards and all that. You want to know what people do, you want to know how they can be a solution to you, because tech is a very broad line. Definitely you can't do it all, you don't know it all. So the way you network, how you network and with whom you network would now make your work even a lot more easy. I learned this the hard way. As a matter of fact, I'm just trying to learn. As a matter of fact, I'm still trying to network right now. And don't even underestimate the value events can actually give to you. Tech events, attend tech events, if possible, pay for events, attend these events, learn a lot of things from these events, and you go back and you connect with people who attended this event, and you guys share similar experience about events you've attended. You're really going to get exploded in knowledge in that aspect. You get. All right, so I'm going to give one bonus tip, and that bonus is underestimating project. Yes. If you ever want to get into something, the best way you can actually show that you're very good at it is getting into a project. Create something, let people see. I see a lot of people kind of like try to apply for jobs, and they're like, and the recruiter is kind of like asking for experience. What do you have in terms of experience? And they're like, I'm just entry level. You don't have this experience, but you know this thing. It kind of sounds not too strong in my ear. You get, if you really are good at something, you should create a project. You don't need somebody to give you a project to create. For example, I don't need to get into a job to create a project, so I will not come and show another person and be like, I created this for these organizations and all that. What I'm just going to do is just create a project. For instance, you want to become a social media manager, you want to get into digital marketing. Why don't you manage your page? Why don't you create a page, manage the page, grow the page, take screenshot of the page, keep the record, and then show. That's the project you've taken. So you don't want to underestimate the power project can actually, how project can project you. You really cannot underestimate that. That is very, very, very important. You get. Now, recap of everything we talked about. Number one, I said overthinking. Overthinking is very important. You don't overthink what you want to get into. Number two, ignoring the basics. You don't want to ignore the basics. The basics of any skill, the fundamentals of every skill is very, very important. Number three, focusing on trends. There's time to focus on trend, but for the meantime, build your solid skills. Very, very important. And then number four, we talked about networking. Networking is more of like the best thing you can actually do, like is the best solution for you to actually get to wherever you want to get to. Bonus tip, don't underestimate project. Take project, create project, make your own project, record your process. That's it. Thank you so very much, guys. If you find this very helpful and if you enjoy the video, don't forget to smash the bell button, right? And like this video, subscribe, and let's see again. I like this video, subscribe, and